What's up, everyone? It's Sunday night to late night agenda. How the hell are we all feeling? Red sitting pretty on top of the league as we head into the international break. I've said this time and time again, I don't like international breaks, particularly this one. You know, at the start of the season, you're only 4 games in. You're just getting into a rhythm and then your players are heading off again on international break. But look, it is what it is, ladies and gents. We are where we are. We've got 2 weeks now. We're going to have to keep each other company. We're going to have to get through this shit together. How are we? Lots of people in the chat already. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Brian Morrissey's in, of course. Paul's in. Who else we got? John Hamilton's in. Martin's in. What's this? Amusing Assassin. That is quite a contradictory name, but I like it, mate. Welcome. How are we? Lovely to see you as well, Dylan, mate. How are you? Domestic Butler's in as well. Will's in. V8 is in. Callum is in. Casper's in. Jack's in. Tom's in. Kev's in. Danny's in. And Joanne's in. Love it, love it, love it. Look, ladies and gents, I thought we'll get to the main course. We'll get to the Mohamed Salah stuff. Just give me a minute. I want to start off this one on a positive for once. Usually I'll come in and have a little bit of a moan at the start of a stream, but today I want to go a little bit differently. It'll be very easy for us to gloss over the fact that Liverpool have just won 13 Premier League games in a row and set a club record for that. But we need to sit back for a second and appreciate just how good that is. I mean, the fact we're unbeaten at home in over 2 years, you can see what a high level Jurgen Klopp has these guys playing at. And then to go away to Burnley yesterday and get that win and make it look so easy. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of this club. I'm so proud of these boys. What a start. What a group. What a group. Can we just take a second before we get into the other stuff? Can we take just 1 second to just appreciate 13 wins in a row? 13 wins. Brian Morrissey said 13 straight wins, top of the league, all good. It is, Brian, my friend. You're right. It is all good. And that's what I want to preach here today. Preach. I like that. Yeah, I'll go with preach. That's what I want to preach here today. Positivity, ladies and gents. There's lots for us to get through. Joanne said, lucky 13, Craig. Evening all. The dugout's in as well. How are you, Doug? Always great to see you. Roberto, mate, how are you doing? Really, really good win last night. That Napoli game, mate, was mental. You were 3-0 up. They pegged you back to 3-all. Did you go and get an injury time winner? Albeit an own goal from Koulibaly. Bernadette, how are you as well? PS4 Gaming Boy, welcome in. You've a banging headache. You woke up with a banging hangover. Do you know what, mate? You sounded like you had a blast yesterday when you were on the stream anyway. So great to see you back in. I hope your hangover goes away. Mark, me and how are you, sir? Not going to watch the Ireland qualifier. Shaqiri pulled out to concentrate on Liverpool. I'm waiting, Mark, to see if I get media passes. I should find out tomorrow if myself and Connor got media passes to the games. I'm not sure yet, but if we get the media passes, we'll probably go up to the Aviva and watch them. But look, 13 games unbeaten, that's not even a word. Casper said it'll be 14 in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, Newcastle at home the next game up. Soon to be 19 in a row as a domestic butler. I love it, ladies and gents. I love this positivity. Who else? We've got Bassa 12s in. We're champions of Europe and top of the league. What's not to like? Exactly, ladies and gents. What is not to like? 13 games. I mean, I could go through them and list them all off for you, but nobody has that much time to do it. It's not like 13 games unbeaten. It's 13 wins in a row. 13 wins. 9 at the end of last season. 4 in a row at the start of this season. It is truly remarkable. And look, it's not worth a shit if you don't go win the league. I get you. I hear where you're going to come from. But let's try and put that right this season. Roberto, I'm very good, thank you. Our team is majestic, said Pepper Red. Majestic is a beautiful word, mate. Killer Boy, how are you? Welcome in, buddy. Great to see you with us. Let me catch up with your chat. Ian Creel as well, how are you, my friend? Firmino, best Brazilian forward to play in the Premier League. Yeah, let's not forget about Bobby as well. 50 goals. First Brazilian, I think, of the highest scoring Brazilian in Premier League history. 50 goals up for Bobby. I cannot say enough good things about Bobby. I could sit here and I could probably do a 20-minute stream just using superlatives about how good the man is. We're top because we're top, said Willie Dunn. I mean, when you're right, Willie. Do you know what I mean, mate? When you're right, you're right. Right, let's get on to it. I will get back to the positive stuff as well. We'll get into the happy shit. We'll get through it all. I'm going to read through a few more of your comments because I know a lot of you guys seen the stream title tonight and that's what you're here for. You want to talk about the Salah Mane stuff and we'll get to it in 2 seconds. Craig Adams said it many times before, our squad improves all the time and I can't see many sides actually beating us, even Manchester City. Those 2 games against City this season, buddy, they're going to be big games. They're going to, stating the bleeding obvious, but they're going to be big games. Crosby Red, I like it. I like the way you're thinking. I don't want to go there just yet though, but Jurgen's Invincibles. I don't think we will. If I'm being brutally honest about it, I don't think we'll go through the season unbeaten. But you know what? We just got to win the league. whether we go through the season unbeaten or not. It'd be nice to do it, though. Oh my goodness, it would be nice to do it. Next 4 after the international, Casper said Newcastle, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Leicester. How many points? 10 points, Casper, maybe. I know people are going to want me to say 12, but I'm trying to give you an honest answer. I could see a tricky draw in there maybe against Chelsea or Leicester. If my memory serves me correct, and you know how shocking my memory is, it's an away trip to Chelsea. Going to Stamford Bridge, even with Chelsea, with the way they are at the minute, it's not going to be easy. We're capable of 12, but Casper, if I had to guess, buddy, I would go with 10. And let's not forget, Manchester City have had, and this isn't a dig at the Premier League or Manchester City, it's just stating the facts. Manchester City have had a fairly easy start to the Premier League campaign. Things will heat up for them as the season goes on, obviously when the Champions League kicks in as well. I'm in top 10 overall in the fantasy footy, said Mark Meehan. Well in, buddy. Well in. I'm proud of you. Absolute. I'm shy. I've said it from the start, Mark, mate. I'm awful at this. Do I think we can go the whole season unbeaten, asks Max. No, mate, I don't. I'd love to say yes, but I'd be lying to you. I just don't think we could do it. Anything is possible in football, but the most important thing for me is that we're top of that league at the end of it. Whether that's unbeaten, whether that's whatever. It's just a matter of finishing. I think if you finish ahead of Manchester City, you're going to win it this year. Luke wants to know if anyone's going to the Ireland game. I'll leave that to the chat for people to talk about. Blue, how are you? Said the gap between us and City in regards to Gunners, Manchester United, Spurs, etc. is massive. Oh, I completely agree. I watched the North London derby today. Entertaining game of football, won't take that away from it. We'll get to Sir Harold of Tottenham's diving and cheating, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. But yeah, you're right, Blue. There is a huge gap there. Manchester City and Liverpool are on a completely different level at the minute to Spurs, United, Arsenal and Chelsea and the like. You're right. I think it's okay to say that because they're not as good. They really aren't. We should go unbeaten, said Tom Jones. We are good enough. We're definitely good enough, mate. I just, I'm not bold enough to come out and say that we're going to go the entire season unbeaten. Bernadette Farrell said it may get to the stage like last year where so close and goal difference will count. Yeah, a lot of people burned it yesterday during the watch-along. We're already shouting for the keeping an eye on the goal difference and stuff. I think, if memory serves me right, we're 2 behind Manchester City as things stand with regards to goal difference. But the important part is that we're 2 points ahead of Manchester City at the moment. Papandu said, loving United struggling. I'm with you. I'm right with you, mate. It's great to see it, isn't it? It's great to see it. I might be going to the Ireland game. Said it's Fran. Fingers crossed you get some tickets, buddy. Right, we just have to take it one game at a time, said Trestlin W. You are right, mate. You are. Look, let's get on to it. Mohamed Salah. Right. My social media feeds have been absolutely full of this for the past 24 hours or so. And you can understand it. Now, I'm going to come into the chat. I'm going to get your opinion on the situation. But beforehand, I want to just give you my brief take on it. So, Sadio Mane got substituted and was a little bit petulant, I think it's fair to say. Was a little bit angry. The bench looked really confused as to where the fuck his anger was being aimed at. But Sadio came off and he was quite angry. And people start backtracking and looking back into the game. Now, I want to say, first and foremost, forwards are inherently selfish. It's what you want in a forward. But, that being said, I think the reaction from Sadio Mane shows how competitive these guys are and that they want perfection and that they're working towards perfection. And we've got to salute that. We've got to salute the fact that these guys keep impeccably high standards and want the best. Now, that being said, I wasn't happy to see Sadio Mane come out so publicly like that on the way off and get angry. I would have liked him to perhaps take it into the dressing room, have a word with the manager, have a word with Mohamed Salah. Now, this is where I get to the bit about Mo Salah. As you guys know, people who watch this stream regularly have heard me say, forwards are greedy. I like my forwards to be greedy. But yesterday, there's at least 2 situations where it's almost inexcusable that Mohamed Salah didn't pass. One of them was to Roberto Firmino, who was clean through on the right-hand side. The other one that springs to mind was, of course, the Sadio Mane, the one where Sadio got really worked up about it. And I can't excuse him for that. I can't. I agree with everybody who said he was too selfish yesterday. And it's not something I want to see creeping in. I don't think Jurgen Klopp will allow it. I don't want to go as far as some people are in saying, oh, he was trying to force his way out. Mane trying to force his way out. Salah, there's no balance within the squad. People are unhappy. Everything that we heard come out of that dressing room yesterday Klopp said it was finished as soon as they got in there. Henderson did an interview. He said it was finished as soon as they got into the dressing room. There was no bad blood. Sadio was laughing and joking. That's what I believe. I believe it was a moment from Sadio, but it still doesn't take away from the conversation point that we're going to have tonight about Mohamed Salah perhaps being a bit selfish at times. Nobody's trying to say Mohamed Salah isn't a world-class footballer. Nobody's trying to say that Mohamed Salah isn't capable of absolute brilliance, and nobody is trying to say that Mohamed Salah is a detriment to this football team. Nobody's trying to say that. I love Mohamed Salah. I'm privileged and proud to have him at this football club. I look forward to many, many more years, hopefully, of watching Mohamed Salah play. But I'm also somebody who likes to call a spade a spade. I've defended Jordan Henderson many times. I've defended Mohamed Salah many times. It's only fair on this occasion that I speak up and I call out what I saw. And I saw Mohamed Salah being greedy. Okay, people can say it was 3-0 up. He just wanted a goal. I actually did a podcast today where this very subject came up. And somebody said, yeah, Craig, I get that, but he was 3-0 up. And people try stuff at 3-0 up. And I don't care because it was 3-0 up. Well, I fucking care. And here's why I care. We know how quickly a game of football can change. 3-0 can become 3-1, 3-2 and 3-3 very fucking quickly. So I want people to have a mindset that they do the right things all the time, or they try to do the right things all the time. You play the game like your life is on the line every single minute of the game. And that's usually what these guys do. So I care that he didn't make the passes. I don't care enough to absolutely throw him under the bus because I love Mo. And I'm going to keep saying that I love Mo because I do. But a spade is a spade. And sorry, that's probably a very Irish phrase. Sorry, I don't know if anybody else uses that. But he was greedy. That's basically where I'm going. Right, so Rabadam, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Said Mo is selfish as a world-class striker. Should be. Yes, I agree that world-class strikers, or all strikers, mate, should be inherently selfish. But at the same time, there's 3 of them up there. It's not just that we have Mo Salah playing through the centre and everything goes through Mo. Mo Salah's out on the right-hand side. Bobby Firmino through the centre. Sadio Mane's off the left. They're a threesome. They play as a unit. And they should look out for each other and do what's best for their mates. And I don't know. I just can't see any way of defending those 2 situations yesterday. I don't want to blow it out of all proportion either. Because at the end of the day, we did win the game. Salah did want to score. He was unlucky in the first half. There was actually a great touch from the Burnley keeper to put it onto the post. And yesterday just wasn't Mo's day. And that's okay. That happens from time to time. Now, I've had my little rant. Let me go over to you guys and see how you're feeling. Craig Adams said Firmino was class. Mane was going berserk. Like, it's all good. Calm down, mate. If Firmino missed that goal, he wouldn't have been said to be greedy for taking Mo's chance away. If Salah scored his chance, then nobody would be speaking about it. Right, firstly, Jack, there was no chance for Mohamed Salah that Firmino took because Mohamed Salah's touch took the ball too far away from him. And if Roberto Firmino didn't walk onto that and score, a defender or somebody would have closed down Mohamed Salah. So we didn't take a chance away from Salah, so we got to put that to bed straight away, mate. It was actually a poor touch from Mo that dragged it across the 18-yard box that allowed Bobby to come on. And I want to say about Bobby's goal, the way he guided it through the defender's legs was world class. Paul Turner said, it's just my opinion, but it's crept into Mo's game from the end of last season that he can be a little bit selfish instead of passing. I'm going to feel sad reading out some of these comments, but it's got to be done. You guys have taken the time to write them. Everybody needs to get this off their chest. They need to get their opinion out there, and it's my job to read these comments. Right, what else have we got? Salah should pass the ball, period, said Lord past him. Mane is a world-class player and shouldn't have got annoyed like that publicly, even though he was a bit pissed off. He shouldn't have done it that way, said Liverpool Videos HD. I agree, mate. I don't like to see these things done publicly. Yeah, I agree. For those people that thought that maybe it was because Sadio Mane was being substituted, I don't think that was the case at all. I mean, it was probably always planned to bring Sadio off if we got a chance, because let's not forget Sadio Mane was the last of our players back from international duty and he was playing catch-up. So you don't want to take a risk, get him injured before the international break. He's got a bit of time there to rest and recuperate. If my memory serves me correct, Kloppo said that Sadio isn't going off on international duty, which if that's the case, that's brilliant. I would expect him to get a few days away, a few days to rest and recuperate and, you know, get ready for the busy period of the season coming up. Labs Gamer said, Salah's selfishness will cost us eventually. I don't doubt his ability and love him as a fellow Muslim, but he needed to pass. I mean, you've given a fair point there, mate. You've given your view. And yeah, I get where you're coming from. And he's way too selfish and has been since he came. It's all about him and targets, he virtually says with his smirk, said Neil. Right, I don't know. I'm trying to think back, Neil, to give you an honest answer, mate, with regards to has he been that way since he's come in. I don't know. I've never really blatantly thought to myself, God, Salah could have passed that. That's a bit more, until yesterday. I understand a lot more people. I mean, maybe I'm late to this party, but I understand a lot more people were having that around the end of last season where they felt he was going for the golden boot at sometimes the detriment of his teammates. Shane Coffey said it's just a heat of the moment thing from Sadio. That's all. I absolutely get that, Shane. I agree with you, mate. I just, you don't want to see it, but again, emotions get raised during the game of football. So yeah, I get it from Sadio's point of view. My gripe is more with Mo. I just didn't like that one little thing from Sadio. He has a point. I absolutely believe he has a point to be annoyed. Yasser said, did anybody see Firmino when the squad was leaving the pitch? Yeah, when he was walking up the tunnel. And so Mo walked ahead of him. I think Sadio was behind him. And Bobby just had his Bobby Firmino-esque big grin on his face. And it was beautiful to see. It was nice to make light of a subject like that a little bit. Jack said, right, if Firmino missed that goal, he wouldn't have been said to be greedy for taking Mo's chance. We've done that one. He didn't take his chance. You got braces on Friday, Fran. Well, that's a good thing, mate. That's a good thing. Your teeth are going to be tickety-boo, buddy, as I say. So, yeah, look after them and look after yourself. I'm sure you do. Right, Mark Meehan said, Craig, I did the exact same thing with my teammate yesterday in the Cup semi-final. Could have passed it to me in an empty net, and then we lost on penalties. I was fuming. Yeah, if you're gonna be greedy, Mark, you gotta take the chances, don't you? All I say is, mate, forgive your teammate. I mean, you lost on penalties. I'm so sorry to hear that, but forgive him, mate. He's human, and we all make mistakes. Tom Jones said, as a club, we know a lot about these 3-0 leads and how to come back from them. Exactly, Tom. Yeah, probably the most famous 3-0 comeback in the history of club football. Nathan Tugwell said, I like that surname, mate, said, I think it was a bit greedy. We should have, so I'm going to start it again. I think Salah was a bit greedy. We should share if there's a high score up, but take the chance and shoot. You hit the nail on the head. Well said, lad. Thank you very much, Stuart. Occasionally I get something right. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to take the gratitude anyway. Clive Bromley said, good evening from sunny Wigan. How are you, sir? And welcome in. Dave's in the house as well, Mr. LFC Chats. How are you, Dave? Hope you and the family had a lovely weekend, as of course I do with everybody in the chat. Good news from our friends from Florida. I know a lot of you guys are in the States and stuff. It's looking like, from my last update anyway, the eye of that hurricane, or the major part of that hurricane, is going to miss a good bit of Florida. And it's just been downgraded to a tropical storm, I believe. So for the likes of Farwell, Liz and everybody else there, stay safe. Our thoughts are with you. Our love is with you. We hope there are no fatalities. We hope there's no major destruction caused by the storm. And I'm thinking of you all. Royboy said, if Salah passed to Firmino and Mane that game, he would have had a hat-trick. If assists, in my opinion, he could be a playmaker for the season potentially. Yeah, I mean, when he was at Roma, he was setting up a lot of goals for Edin Dzeko, a lot, mate, and his assists were class. What do I think of the wanker fans saying Salah out? I think you've almost answered it for me there, Virgil van Dijk. The assholes, mate. The same. There are going to be some people on social media who say stuff just to get a reaction. I mean, I've seen some accounts. I've seen one account, and people that follow me on Twitter will know because I posted about this today, with a big red X through a picture of Mo. Now, he's on a wind-up. He's clearly on a fucking wind-up. But yeah, I have an issue with people who follow footballers rather than clubs. Let me try and explain what I'm talking about. So, when all of us grew up, we all started supporting Liverpool, or whoever it is you guys support, whether you're an Arsenal fan, United fan, whoever it might be. So we all fell in love with a football club. That's the important part. We had our favourite players. We'll always have our favourite players. But I've started to see this thing in the last maybe 5 years or so where people are following footballers and not clubs. So you've got the Messi fanboys as an example. And I love Messi. I'm a massive fan of Lionel Messi. But I'm not, if Lionel Messi leaves Barcelona, if I was a Barcelona fan, I'm still going to be following Barcelona. My heart's still going to be with Barcelona. As a Liverpool fan, I love Robbie Fowler. I love Steven Gerrard. I love Jamie Carragher. I love Kenny Dalglish. I love all the greats over the years. But my heart's always with the club. It's the badge before everything else. So I've started to see a few people now who, whether it's because of nationality, whether it's because of whatever, they're Mo fans, they're Sadio fans, they're Bobby fans. but they're not really Liverpool fans. But we're getting the grief on social media for the reaction of these guys in these circumstances. So last year there seemed to be a lot of stuff around anybody who said anything negative about Mohamed Salah. You had this bombardment of people from Egypt or whatever, rightly defending their guy, but at the same time proclaiming to be Liverpool fans, and then it looks bad on everybody else. You follow the football club. You're here for the badge. Players will come and go. They're transient employees of the football club. That's the way you got to look at it. Well, all of our favourites. Anybody who says Mo out is a dickhead, as you've rightly said, mate. They are assholes. Mohamed Salah has done so much at this football club. He's loved by this football club. He's loved by our supporters. He's loved by me, you, and everybody else. Just because he had a selfish day, or maybe even a selfish period during his career. It can be ironed out. We can sort it out. Let's not let this build into a narrative where people are saying that he's doing this purposely to try and get his way out, or he's doing this purposely to try and force an issue between himself and Jurgen Klopp. Because you know that's how the media, some of the media I should say, will spin this moving forward. Popeye said Salah wants the golden boot. Do you know what? Hand on heart, Popeye, mate. I promise you Salah wants the Premier League, the Champions League, much more than a golden boot. When he looks back in his career, he has 2 golden boots already. When he looks back in his career, he'll want those winners' medals. He'll want the Champions League, which he has. He'll want the Premier League. He'll want the World Club Championship. And that's what it's all about. It's a storm in a teacup, said Drew. You're right, mate. It is. It's just a talking point. That's all this is. It's no big drama. It's just a talking point amongst fans. And you're right, we'll be talking about something else in a few weeks' time. Gamer Guy said, Salah was greedy. Did you see what he pulled up against Barcelona at Anfield? We won 4-0. Burnley could have done anything. Yes, you're right. We can. Anything is possible in football. Now, Burnley aren't us, granted, but yeah, 3-1 can make you nervy very quickly. Things can change in football very soon. So that's why I was saying I like the attitude where, like Luis Suarez as an example, and I'm not holding Luis Suarez up as some shining beacon of everything that's right about football, because he certainly isn't. But what I always loved about Suarez was that he played every minute of every game like it was 0-0 or like he was losing. He had a hunger and an attitude, and he wanted things perfect all the time. And he held himself to very high standards with regards to his football. Obviously, his temperament's another thing. And the same with Steven Gerrard. When you were that level of footballer, which is why you've seen Sadio go off the pitch so angry. Because these guys are the elite of the elite. They are the 1%. They are the very, very, very top of the game. And they hold themselves and everybody around them to very high standards. Sadio had every right to be pissed. I would have been the same, said H_F. PS4 Gamer Boy said, do you think if Mo passed it would have been more than Liverpool winning 3-0? Do you think if Mo Salah passed it would have been more than Liverpool? I don't know what you mean by the question, mate. Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. If he passed, Bobby would have had another goal. If he passed, Sadio would have had another goal. Which, in turn could have caused Burnley to absolutely just give up and may have led to more chances, and Salah may have gotten his goal anyway. The dugout said, Richard Keys and Andy Gray, don't get me fucking started, pal, on those two. I've already had a go. I've already tagged beIN Sport and social media on Twitter saying, why the fuck are you giving these guys a platform? They're absolute clowns. Andy Gray and Richard Keys are dinosaurs that have no place in this sport anymore. They've been exposed over the years for what they are. For the sexist assholes that they are. And look, I don't want to go into Richard Keys' personal life. I'm only going to talk about the stuff in his professional career. Richard Keys and Andy Gray are assholes. They don't like Liverpool. Andy Gray, being an ex-Everton player, obviously is a bitter through and through. Now, what Doug is talking about today, and people mightn't have seen this, was the incident around Harry Kane. So I'm sure you guys, a lot of you watched the North London derby. Kane went down all too easily, as he often does. And of course, in the beIN Sport punditry, Andy Gray took the time to say that, well, Mo Salah's got penalties for less than that last season. Right, fuck off for a start, Andy Gray. It's got nothing to do with Mo Salah. Why don't you just call Harry Kane out for the diving, cheating little shit that he is, rather than trying to make it about Mo Salah again, which is what Doug was talking about there. And thank you for the super chat, mate. Let me catch up as well. Firmino will be player of the year, top 5 in world football, said Neil Anthony. Oh man, I fucking love him. I love Bobby so much. Captain Tripp said Mo could be selfish, but it's a fact he gets more assists than Mane, 31 and 110 as opposed to 23 and 128. Well, yeah, I get it, and there's nothing wrong with getting assists, mate. But What I'm saying is everybody should be looking about the team. Everything should be about the team, not about individual accolades, not about how many goals you got to score. I understand that there can be financial gain for players as well, for hitting these targets, for getting their goals, and sometimes contracts are highly incentivised with regards to goals. And if that's the case, then that's something the club's got to look at. Because the club's got to say to themselves, right, are these contracts being detrimental to the performances on the pitch? Now, after one game, or one little incident yesterday, well, two actually, I'm probably getting ahead of myself here. Crosby Red said, newsflash, 2 LFC players are human. None of them are human, Crosby Red. They're all machines, my friend. They're all game-winning, absolute superstars. But, of course, I get where you're coming from. I'm just trying to make light of it a little bit. Mane is just as greedy, said Brad Palmer. They're all greedy. That's it, mate. They're all greedy. And it's okay being greedy. And if Mohamed Salah had stuck both those in the top corner, we'll be all hypocritical and we wouldn't be sitting here having these conversations. It's only when you miss these chances that people call you for them. And Sadio's missed a few over the years as well where he had opportunities to square them. But so was Mo, you know. And I've seen some clips doing the rounds today of situations where he could have laid on people for pretty much a tap-in. But look, this is okay. This is what being a fan is about. We're here to critique. It doesn't mean we hate them. It doesn't mean we want them gone. It's just us giving our opinions as football fans. Richard Keys has a massive head, said Richie Dirtman. And very, very hairy hands, mate. Casper said, Salah's probably the most greedy player in the Premier League. No offence, he said. Mate, it's your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. We mightn't always agree, all of us, but, you know, it is what it is. Kev said there's no I in team. And Storm Thomas said it as well. The club did Paul Ince... What's this? Which club did Paul Ince play for first? Us United. Oh, United, mate. United. To be fair, Salah, we were 3-0 up and he was the only person in the front three that didn't score. That's irrelevant. To me, that's my opinion. Sorry, mate. I don't mean to have a go with you. But it's irrelevant whether we're 3-0 up, 10-0 up, 15-0 up or 7-0 down. It's the right thing to do. And it's all about decision making. In these big moments, it's all about decision making. And you want that muscle memory. You want to know that when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to a 0-0 game, in these positions, that he's laying that ball off. Now, I've no proof to say that he wouldn't have laid it off. But I'm just saying I want to see the right things done all the time. Because it will just create more good harmony amongst the guys. Start of the season's been very selfish. Not saying it's a bad thing to be a bit selfish as a striker, but you need to consider the team. And an example was the Mane situation, said Warren McGrath. Again, Warren, I completely agree with you, mate. He did the wrong thing. Peter Ortiz said, Craig, this is the most pointless argument of the decade. 12 points, top of the league. Let the haters hate. And the blinkered waffle. I get you, Peter, and I absolutely agree with you. And we are top of the league, and we have won 13 in a row. But it's a major talking point, mate, and it's something I know a lot of fans want to talk about. And if I didn't at least address it, I wouldn't really be doing my job on here. And I agree. For me, this is tiny, and we won't remember this in a few weeks' time. Well, not as much. I mean, we're all going to recollect it, but it's not going to be something we're going to be talking about if we go on and win another 3 or 4 games. Guard said, think we are perfect. Top 3 are all awesome. No argue with me, buddy. I love the front 3. Mo was a selfish guy, even in the Egyptian team. Says Roseland Solo Romy. I can't say I've watched too much of him for the national team, but I would imagine he definitely feels a lot more pressure and responsibility when playing for Egypt. And let's not forget, with all due respect to his teammates, Mohamed Salah is pretty much levels above most of the guys that he plays with at Egypt, where at Liverpool, he's surrounded by world-class players. So there is that as well to take into account. Far Isle said, what sucks is the late goal versus Arsenal fueled the media to ignore the win, and now the Mane stuff takes away from our win and streak. Look, the North London derby was always going to grab the headlines today, and it was an entertaining game. But what I took from it was what somebody else mentioned earlier on in the stream. I can't remember if it was Bernadette or Liz or Joanne. Somebody mentioned it. We're streets ahead of them. And that's what I took from it. I watched that game. I picked so many holes in that Arsenal team and that Spurs team that it just filled me full of confidence and filled me full of happiness just to remember how fucking good we are. He just wanted a goal, said Taylor Eckett. Come on, people, like the stream and support in any way you can, said DeAndre Small. Much love, mate. Thank you so much. Let me just tell you guys, yesterday, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Game was live in a lot of countries. I wasn't expecting major numbers. We got almost 62,000 views yesterday of the Watchalong. 62,000. Yeah, look, we've gone over 100k before. I think our maximum was like 167 for the Barcelona game, but for this early in the season, for what's been a quiet enough period on here, for us to have hit 62,000 people watching that game yesterday was amazing. It was almost another record-breaking day subscriber-wise as well. We hit 451 subscribers yesterday. 451. We've gone past 22,000. We've gone past 22,250. We're on the road to 25k. So again, I just want to take a moment to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you that have given us a try, that have stayed with us, that have supported the channel. It is only because of your love, your support, your help, and your input that we are where we are. So again, we'll never forget that. No matter how big this motherfucker gets, we're in it together. We're in this as a group. And I want to say thank you. Connor messaged me today. I think I've told you, Connor's over in Amsterdam with his mates this weekend. And I got the most fucking gibberish message ever earlier on. And Connor is so articulate and he's so careful when he writes any message. Every comma's in the right place. Every word is spelled correctly. And I couldn't even make out what the fuck he was saying. He was so drunk, which is beautiful to see. I love the fact that my little buddy's over there with his mates, getting pissed up and doing what you're supposed to do in Amsterdam, having a bit of fun. So yeah, shout out to Connor as well for his little trip over with his mates. Luke said we've only one home fixture, all our league games next month. Yeah, it's you're right, mate. And I think somebody said to me during the Champions League games, there's 4 away fixtures in a row or something as well. Football's a teamwork. Maybe Mo is fighting for the golden boot. To be fair, and I got to be blunt about this, and this is my honest opinion, if Sergio Aguero stays fit this season, then he's going to fucking walk away with the golden boot as far as I'm concerned, because he's a machine to score, and it's just him pretty much. Yeah, Raheem Sterling will chip in as well, but we've got a front three. So yeah, I think Aguero's a shoe-in for the golden boot if he stays fit. And do you know, if he does pull away, it mightn't be a bad thing for the rest of us, for the team, for the guys, to just concentrate on setting up their mates. No one is bigger than the team, said Gary Richards. Again, I fully agree with you, Gary. No player should act like Mane again. Got a problem, solve it in the locker room, said Kim. I agree, and I think that will have been put to Sadio as well. You could see Jordan Henderson, James Milner and that trying to calm him down on the bench. And he did calm down. But it was a side of Sadio I'd never seen before. And I kind of like it a little bit. I like knowing he has it in him. I like knowing he has that anger in him, because when we see Sadio Mane, we see him smiling. Even if he misses a chance, you see him smiling all the time. Yeah, so it's nice to know he has that in him. There are not many teams that can match Liverpool in Europe, said Popeye Doyle. We're pretty fucking good, mate. I'm not going to lie. We are pretty good. Bernadette said, Connor, stay away from the red light district. I actually, genuinely, I didn't ask him. I know he went to the Museum of Prostitution. I know that much. I think he went there. He sent me a picture of a rubber ducky store. So there's a shop over in Amsterdam that just sells rubber ducks. And I think I'll sleep a little bit better tonight knowing that there's a shop in the world that sells just rubber ducks. That's a nice, simple little thing. Would I rather win the Champions League or the Premier League this season? The Premier League, Elliot, mate. The Premier League this season, without a shadow of a doubt. Once we get that monkey off our back, and once we get that one won, give me the Champions League every year forever, because that's the biggest trophy in the club football, without a shadow of a doubt. But 30 years for a club like ours to not win the top level of English football is too long, so fingers crossed, mate. I said the same at the start of last season. We didn't do it, but you know what? We won the fucking Champions League, and that was pretty enjoyable. What do you think is the most random signing in Liverpool history? There's a couple. If we're talking about like permanent signings, random. Hosami was pretty fucking random when he came in. There was a few under Rafael Benitez. Antonio Nunes, that was another one that was a bit iffy. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it to the chat. I'm sure people have their own ones that they're remembering, but yeah, there's been some iffy ones, mate. All right. James Hardy says United player can't make up their minds who the penalty taker is, and they all miss anyway. Fuck them, mate. Fuck them. It's United. The wheels are gonna come off. A lot of people, actually, a lot of chatter today on Twitter especially. I think it may have started from Ian Doyle of The Echo. I think it was Ian Doyle. If it wasn't, apologies, but I think it was. He said that if Spurs had a loss, or if Spurs, this was before the North London derby, he said if Spurs lose today, I've got a feeling it won't be too long until Pochettino is Manchester United manager. I wonder, because there has been a little bit of a cloud over Pochettino there at Spurs. You remember he came out and denied the fact that he was going to walk after this weekend. What do you think? Any United fans in the chat? There usually are a couple in the chat. What do you think, Pochettino? I think they probably should have tried to get him when they gave Ollie the job, but I'd be a lot more worried having Mauricio Pochettino managing United than I am about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being there. So from my point of view, keep Ollie as long as possible. Anthony wants to know our opinions on the Champions League group. It's good. It's a good draw, Anthony. Napoli, we know Napoli are a good side. We know damn well they're a good side. Salzburg are a little bit of an unknown quantity to us because we've never played them that I know of. I don't know if we've ever not played them, but I can't remember playing them for a very fucking long time. They're not mugs. They're no mugs. That's what I'll say about them. I mean, they've produced some good players over the years. Sadio Mane played there. I'm pretty sure Naby Keita played there at some point as well. And they're a little bit of a feeder club at times to RB Leipzig, or they were anyway. I don't know what to expect. I'm expecting probably 2 wins, if I'm being honest there. And then when it comes to Genk, hands up, I know fuck all about Genk, mate. Nothing. But all in all, I think the English clubs got a fairly decent draw. Chelsea, probably the most difficult of the groups of the English clubs. But yeah, I think we can be happy. I'm almost a little bit disappointed though, Anthony, because I'm a bit of a sadist and that I wouldn't have minded what we call a group of death, because one, I'd back us to get through any group because we're that good. And I like the idea of having big games during the group stages as well. Now, Napoli will be a big game. That the away game is going to be massive to start off. But there was something nice about having Napoli, Paris Saint-Germain last year. Do you get where I'm coming from? I mean, let's be honest. And I want your honest opinions on this. Are a lot of you guys looking past the group stages already and thinking towards the knockouts? Because that's what tends to happen to some of us when we get a group like we've gotten. You look and go, right, Liverpool and Napoli, they're qualifying. And then who are we going to get the knockout point? It's almost like we're a little bit spoiled when you see the group that we're in. But that's my take anyway. And maybe I'm just looking past the group stages and I'm showing disrespect. But yeah, I don't know. I would have liked... It sounds weird to say this, but I probably would have liked a little bit more of a difficult group. But what is important about the group that we've gotten is that the travelling isn't too much. I mean, I was on a podcast today and somebody did the mileage and I can't remember what it was. Fair play to them for calculating it. But yeah, they're not long trips for the fans and the players, which is important. I mean, we can say Manchester City got a piss easy group, and they kind of did, but they have to travel over to Shakhtar, and that's quite a long trip. When you look at the likes of what Manchester United got in the Europa League, and somebody said that Astana is closer to Asia than it is to Europe, or closer to Asia than it is to Manchester, something along those lines. So yeah, there's a lot of travelling there in that competition, and with us, Austria, Italy, Belgium, it's not too bad. It's not too bad for the fans, it's not too bad for Klopp and the players. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a pretty good group. And I'd love to know what everybody else is thinking. Hayne said, my mate Shady Dave can get you anything in Amsterdam. It's pretty easy to get stuff in Amsterdam anyway, mate, to be honest. Will Alisson be ready for the Champions League? I don't know, Heather. That's my honest answer. I don't think he'll be ready for Newcastle, from kind of reading between the lines of what Kloppo was saying, but whether he'll make it for the Champions League, if he's not making it for Newcastle, he's probably not making it for Napoli, but, you know, fingers crossed, and we'll see how he gets on over the 2 weeks. Whoever plays us gets beat. Simple, said Craig Adams. I like it, mate. I do. I really like it. The Barcelona group is good, said Bassett 12. John Hamilton said, Craig, I'm confident we'll get through the group. I'm not looking beyond it yet. Good, you're right not to. It's my own arrogance, John, that's probably letting me look past the group. Happily Egg said, I never presume. Hubris will kill you. No complacency, respect every team. And you're right, and that's exactly what Jurgen Klopp will be doing, mate. And I wouldn't expect anything less from our players. It's just the gobshite that is me is looking a little bit past it. Drew Dornan said the geography is a big bonus. Jason said, didn't get the notification you had a live stream. It's honestly, buddy, it's the bane of a YouTuber's life, hearing that, because it's frustrating as fuck, because we can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it if you've got notifications turned on, and if they're not going out there, it's shitty for everybody. And and there's nothing we can do. I would say to you, turn them off and turn them back on, but I don't know if it would make any difference. Mark Meehan said we needed an easier group because we need to focus on the league. United travelling to Kazakhstan to see Borat, said Peter van der Shans. Oh God, every fibre of me wanted to do a Borat impression there, but I'm not doing it. That's just too rude, even for me. Craig Adams said our form in the group stages last year was dodgy, but we got it done. It was no wins away from home. Actually, no points away from home last year in the Champions League. Everything was at home. 3 wins at home. Who do you think will finish 3rd and 4th in the Premier League? I think Spurs will get 3rd if Pochettino stays. 4th, at this moment in time, I would lean towards Arsenal, but again, it seems like nobody wants it. United need to get their shit together. Chelsea are a little bit of an unknown quantity still. I would say the 2 London clubs, the 2 North London clubs at this moment in time, but it's very difficult to know. What do you guys think? Who do you think will make up the top 4? Mark said, my last positive before going back to school tomorrow. I keep saying this, Mark, and I know you probably don't believe me now, buddy, but you will look back at your school days very fondly and just remember them as a good point in your life. So enjoy them, mate. Craig Challoner said, are our fans more desperate than... What's this? Are our fans more desperate than ever to moan about something? If Salah walked on water, people will call him lazy for not swimming. Have you not seen the new ad, mate? He did walk on fucking water, you know. Have a little Google of it. He definitely did do some walking on water. What's happened to Real Madrid? Oh, they fucking drew 2-2, did they? The fuckers. They done me out of it as well, Jason. They've ruined my accumulator. They were the last team on a 7-team accumulator for me that would have won me a little bit less than you. Fucking Real Madrid and Barcelona, two top Spanish sides, both fucking me over on my accumulators this week. So yeah, I wasn't even paying attention because I know if I had to start looking at my phone, it would have annoyed me. So I stayed away from it and was hoping nobody was going to let me know the score in the chat. But there you go, 2-2. Yeah, it's more reason for me to hate Real Madrid. Bayern scored damn 23 goals in the match. That's serious. What? What's the point about Bayern scoring 23 goals? That they didn't score fucking 23 goals against us in the Champions League, mate. Darren Neal, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Let me just have a look. What else have we got to talk about? Yes, I thought we could maybe take a couple of minutes to talk about Fabinho. He was my man of the match yesterday, and the man's getting better and better with every single game. He was just outstanding yesterday, and I have to admit that when we signed him, I knew he'd be good, but I've been blown away by just how good he is in that role. And he does so much work in that midfield. He reads the game so well, and we call him the octopus for a reason. So I just thought maybe we could have a little segment of tonight's show where we just show some love to Fabinho because he is just impeccable. I love the guy. What a player. Thoughts on Shaqiri finally getting a run out against Burnley? Yeah, it's good to see him get minutes. Yeah, definitely. It is good to see him get minutes. Don't really remember him doing much, but it's good to see him get minutes. Crosby Red said, I would love to see Leicester get 4th. They're so poor. That's alright, Jason. It is what it is, my friend. Peter van der Shan says, Fabinho's a superb player, so much work. He's getting better and better, Peter, isn't he? Every fucking game, mate. He's just getting better and better and better. And just when I think he's hit a level, boom, he goes up another one. He is sensational. Bale scored twice for Madrid tonight and got a straight red. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, his I watched a good chunk of that Real Madrid game, and I know they're missing a lot of players, but Jesus, they're disjointed. Fabinho was boss, said Chris. Henderson and Robertson deserve to get a goal soon. Seems like there's a hidden force that stops them from scoring. Yeah, it's they've been knocking on the door, mate. They really have. Fabinho tackling Suarez in the Champions League. I have that image saved, Callum, of him standing over Luis Suarez, I should say, shouting at him. It's one of my favourite images from last season's Champions League. Dominus Earth said, I think Leicester City will get top 4. And boy, I'll be delighted to hear about that, mate. I think a lot of us perhaps were looking at Wolves when the season started. As things sit, and I know it's very, very, very early days, I think Wolves are in the relegation zone at the minute. Having lost 3-2 to Everton today. But yeah, Leicester are good, mate. And they've got some good young players at the club as well. It'll be interesting to see how they get on. I think top 4 might be a stretch for them, if I'm being honest. But you never know. Maybe they'll do some recruitment in January if they're in, there or thereabouts fighting for that spot. And I wouldn't begrudge them, not at all. Captain Clun said, wait until Keita gets going. I love Naby. I can't wait for him to get back, mate. The little hip injury that he has at the minute is it's frustrating for all of us, and he's going to be massive. And it will lead on to something I want to talk about a little bit later in the stream as well, around our midfield. So remind me if I forget. Fabinho was straight fire, said the Revenai. Who'll get relegated? Every team has looked decent apart from Watford. Yeah, what's going on with Watford, by the way? What the fuck is going on there? Last season Watford were decent enough, and now they seem absolute horseshit. But they're standing by their manager so far. Darren Neal said, Fabinho reminds me of Mascherano, but Fabinho's better than him. The thing about Fabinho is he can pass really well. It's a good trait to have, said Tom Jones. Leicester will take fourth. They look very good, said Craig Adams. Bernadette Farrell, Klopp has given us the belief that we'll win every game, and we haven't had that for years. Yeah, I only said to my wife earlier on when I was talking to her about this 13-game winning streak, and I was saying it's been so easy doing this. I mean, coming on after it's been win. So it's been so easy for me to come on here and big up the team and do the watch-alongs and celebrate, and it's been nothing but love and nothing but positivity. And I'm wondering how people are going to react if we even draw a game. I mean, it won't affect me too much, but some people will lose their mind when we draw. Domestic Butler said, not chatting much but listening with the lights off and chilling. You've earned it, mate. I know how hard yourself and your good lady wife have been working. August must be a really busy month in your industry, so you've earned that right to sit and relax, mate. Bassett said, I think Leicester are the best of the rest. Loads of love for Leicester tonight. Good. I like that. Jack Spade said it was Villarreal that Moreno went to. Yeah, it was indeed. I know I'm a Liverpool fan, but that Everton game was... You said I think you meant to say really good. It was an interesting game. It was. When Wolves equalised, I thought that was it. But fair play. Richarlison went up the other end and scored. And fair play to Everton. They won 3-2. You're not going to take it away from them. The Cop Council said, hey Craig, hope you're well, pal. It's just me. Is there a certain club that's top of the league? There is, my friend. Same club, I believe, has won 6 European Cups as well. Now, there you go. Chris said, the only way to win the Premier League is to beat City when we meet them. Otherwise, we can't be hoping for other teams to do us favours. Yeah, look, we're all going to drop points. We're going to drop them. City are going to drop them. We're probably going to drop them in places where we don't expect to. But you're right, mate. A lot will come down to those 2 games against Manchester City. What else we got? I'd like to see Brewster against the MK Dons. A lot of love for Ryan Brewster, mate, and rightly so. It will be interesting. I wonder what type of team we will put out when we play the MK Dons. Yeah, I mean, we should have a big enough squad to cope, but you're right, it's about getting a mix of the young players and a bit of experience, because you want to get through and you want to go a few rounds in these competitions. We need a song for Fabinho, said Crosby Red. I'm sure there's one in the works. There has to be. He's so damn good. I ain't talented enough to write one. Maybe Jamie Webster or the Travelling Cop have come up with something, or will be coming up with something, I've no doubt. Jason Ward said, I personally think Greenwood is better than Brewster because he's getting more chances. He's getting more opportunities, mate, but I would look at that a different way as well. And Mason Greenwood does look like a good player. I'm not taking away from him at all. 17 years of age, he looks really good. But he's getting chances because United are fuck all up front. That's the difference. We have Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Bobby Firmino. They have very little, and that's why Mason Greenwood is getting these opportunities, because it's a desperate roll of the dice at times from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to bring him on. But he does look like a good player, as I said, not taken away from the young man whatsoever. Ryan Brewster definitely better than Mason Greenwood, but Mason Greenwood will come on. Ryan will win the Ballon d'Or in the future, said Bastard 12. Big shout, mate. The Scarlet Land 58 said, we don't know if it will be just between Liverpool and City. For the league, I think it will. From what I've seen of the 2 clubs and the rest of the teams so far, mate, we seem head and shoulders. Both clubs seem head and shoulders above any other team so far. Now, things can change. A couple of injuries, the team hitting form, maybe a signing in January. Things can definitely change, but I'm not expecting anybody to get near Manchester City and Liverpool this season. I really amn't. Craig Adams said, I think the love from Liverpool fans for Leicester has grown because of Brendan Rodgers. He got us going in the right direction. Most of the Liverpool fans I know aren't particularly fond of Brendan Rodgers, if I'm being honest, Craig. And I actually think he's alright. I think the Liverpool job came too early in his managerial career, but some of the Reds I know don't look back at Rodgers very fondly at all. He did throw players under the bus. He was a little bit cringy at times with some of the shit that he came out with, but he is a good coach. I've always said that about him. He's a good coach. What else we got? Can't forget Bobby getting his 50th Liverpool goal, said Ian Cullinan. We spoke about it earlier on, mate. First Brazilian to get 50, which is a great accolade to have. Haynes said it's because Martial is out. Yeah, exactly. But even at that, Martial, Rashford, it's not the same level, mate. So Greenwood is going to get opportunities. Peter van der Shan said, couldn't believe Ole played Pogba in such a deep role for most of the game. When Mourinho done that, people were saying that he was stifling Pogba's creativity and stifling Pogba's chances. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did it, it was a fucking masterstroke and he was playing him like a quarterback. It's just hypocrisy, mate, time and time again in football, and the media spinning the same things different ways to suit their agendas. The fact is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not good enough to manage Manchester United, but it's also a fact that that squad is not good enough and not befitting of a club the size of Manchester United. But they can only look at themselves for that, because they've made piss poor decisions in the transfer market, they've made piss poor managerial decisions, and it's coming back to bite them in the ass. And as a Liverpool fan, I fucking love it. I absolutely love it, and long may it continue. Brian, did we not? Yeah, I'll talk to you about this actually off stream, Brian. I've just seen a couple of somebody in the chat who I thought was removed. At least we're going to win yesterday, so it didn't matter how much with him not passing, said Paul. I think 5 games to go at the end of the season, there'll be at least a 15-point gap between the team in second and third. I echo that, Chris. I think you're right. Football-wise, I meant about Rodgers. Yes, look, as I said, he's a very, very good coach. By assisting Firmino's goal, Mohamed Salah has now officially contributed to 100 Liverpool goals. That is a lovely record. It really is. And as I said, yes, the title of tonight's stream was his Mo Salah selfish, but I don't want this to be just people knocking Mo Salah. So what Kim has said there is lovely to see. Mohamed Salah has had a tremendous impact on this football club and will continue to have a tremendous positive impact on this football club going forward. Virgil van Dijk said, I hope we can get Madrid in the final to get our revenge. They won't get that far because they ain't fucking good enough, mate. That Real Madrid side, they look really disjointed. I know they've a load of injuries at the minute, particularly in the wide areas, but they don't look great to me at all. They just look a pale imitation of their former selves. David Newell said, Firmino's on a mission this season. He's looking like the Firmino of the season before last. He is so important. I say it time and time again. He's so important to everything that we do. Callum said Henderson is injured. Is he? Is he? I haven't read anything about Jordan Henderson being injured. Again, I could have missed it. Darren Neal said that 13-14 team was brilliant. I remember playing Arsenal. My dad said there'd be 3 or 4 up in 20 minutes. He was wrong. We were 4-0 up in 20 minutes. Yeah, 13-14 was phenomenal. Some of the best games and the most enjoyment I've had following this football club. I was lucky enough to be at Anfield for the 4-0 win against Everton. I was there when Suarez scored all those goals against Norwich. There was some great times. Yeah, we can't ignore 13-14. It was brilliant. It was fucking fantastic, but we came just short. It's funny the media are blowing this Mane Salah bust up out of proportion, yet at the same time the media didn't blow up Pep and Aguero arguing with each other on the sidelines. John, I agree with you, mate. I absolutely agree with you. Look, we all think that the media has an agenda for or against our football club at times. We all do that. All football fans from every club. But there is some fucking clubs that I feel that there's a bit of a love in towards. Spurs in particular. Where's all this? Why isn't there write-up after write-up after write-up saying how Dele Alli has fallen off a fucking cliff as a footballer? Because he has. He is nowhere near the Dele Alli of a couple of years ago. Nowhere fucking near it. Harry Kane just can't score a goal in August for some reason. Just can't score. And today, from what I'd seen, they were spending more time talking about his penalty and how well he took it away than they were the fact that he's a diving, cheating prick. Where's the fume about that? If that was Mohamed Salah, it would be everywhere. It would be all they'd be talking about. In January, I want us to sign Maddison and Sancho. Well, that just isn't going to happen, Bassett, mate. There's no fucking way that Borussia Dortmund or Leicester are going to let two of their best players go in the January transfer window, mate. It's just not going to happen. Do you think Liverpool can get more Champions Leagues than Real Madrid? No, I don't. 13 is a crazy number. Now look, if you look into the history of some of those, you could probably, I'd chalk off a few of them anyway, and I'll let you do the research as to why. Brian Morris said the reason people like myself don't look back fondly on Rodgers is because of all the good he did for the club on the pitch, he undid it every time somebody put a microphone in front of him. That's exactly what I was saying, mate, earlier on. He threw players under the bus. A lot of the time, it was what we Irish call a May feiner, all about him. Tropic Sunshine said Brewster will be wasted if he stays. If he gets sold, he might develop. Brewster will not be fucking wasted here. I can't say that enough. Liverpool fought tooth and nail to get Ryan Brewster to sign his first professional contract with the football club. Ryan Brewster had interest from all top clubs across Europe. If you remember, we actually cancelled the friendly against Borussia Mönchengladbach because we weren't happy with their pursuit of Ryan Brewster. Jurgen Klopp really fucking really rates Ryan Brewster. And he will get his chances. But he will get his chances at the right times. And that's important. What we don't want to happen is Ryan Brewster to be introduced too early, before he's ready, before the team's up to speed, and him not to hit the ground running, and for that to have an impact on his career in a negative way, for fans to start getting on his back. Jurgen Klopp is a genius when it comes to introducing people at the right times. Look back at Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, look back at Andy Robertson, look at the introduction of Fabinho. He knows what he's doing. So he doesn't have to leave the football club to get opportunities, Tropic Sunshine. He will absolutely get them at the football club in the right time. And that's important. It's about patience. It's about being introduced gradually at the right time for his development. You'll probably see it get to a point where he gets a run of games, then he'll be pulled back out again, get a bit of a debrief. He'll get a chance to think back over what's happened, and then he'll start to be introduced more and more. The kid's still very young, and there's nobody I would trust more with his development than Jurgen Klopp. So, and the fact we didn't sign anybody as well is because he believes so highly in him. We didn't sign Timo Werner because of Ryan Brewster. If that doesn't tell Ryan Brewster and Ryan Brewster's family or us how highly Klopp rates this kid, I don't know what will. Stephen Richard said, Craig, we're in the media's heads, especially Sky. Sky have gone to absolute fucking pieces over the past few years, mate. I actually heard... Did anybody watch North London Derby today on Sky? If you did, you probably heard Jamie Redknapp, a highly paid professional pundit, say, instead of saying Arsenal have Danny Ceballos on the bench, or Ceballos, whichever way you want to pronounce it, he said Celebassis. He actually fucking said Arsenal have Celebassis on the bench. That's the level of shite that we're paying for with Sky these days. Absolute fucking stupid stuff. And then, I could go on for ages. Kevin Nolan, his 11s. Do you remember his team of the week or his team of the season or whatever the fuck it was? No, it was his Arsenal-Liverpool combined 11. Do you remember his midfield? Some of this shit that Sky are putting out is embarrassing. It's lowest common denominator stuff. You get some great stuff from Sky as well. Monday Night Football is really good. And occasionally you get a good bit of in-depth analysis. But fuck me, their levels are going off a cliff. So much so that I've actually made a decision that I will never do anything with Sky, ever. Often, I've seen more and more stuff with Sky where they're starting to reach out to supporters groups or fan channels. I've seen Expressions done a couple of bits. I think one of the lads off AFTV have done a few bits. I'll never do anything with them. Never. Ever. Fucking ever. As much as I admit I have a Sky subscription, I pay for Sky Sports because I have to. I don't like them. I don't like them one fucking bit. And if they ever reach out to us to go and do something, I will not fucking waste my time. I heard Brewster's a Fowler type striker. Is that true? It's a big shout, but yes, he's fucking good, mate. That's all I'm gonna say. He's good, but I don't want too much pressure on that young man too soon. No, not getting into who's most likely to get sold out of the front three, mate, because it's just a negative when I don't want to be spinning negatives about the club. Craig's on fire tonight. Salient points about introduction of players at the right time. Thank you. Larry Leach, how are you, buddy? Said, I think Brendan Rodgers' downfall at Liverpool was his signings. It wasn't... He didn't have as much power and as much influence when it came to signings as Kloppo does. But that's for good reason. When you come out and say publicly, we are not signing Mario Balotelli, and then we sign Mario fucking Balotelli, there's a problem. When you sell Luis Suarez and replace him with Mario Balotelli, that's not good enough. It's just not good enough. From the club's point of view as well, I mean, we can blame we can blame Brendan Rodgers on this to an extent, but I don't think he had as much power and influence over transfers as he would have liked. Maybe because there was a lot of shit signings made. And Ricky Lambert as well came in around the same time when we saw Luis Suarez, so I'm even cringing just thinking about those signings. I think he'd be good on LFC TV. LFC TV I actually like. Saw Troops and Expressions on Sky. That's the thing I was talking about. They did a little piece with two former players. And yeah, nothing against the guys. You know I love Expressions. Nothing but love for Expressions. But personally, from my point of view, I just don't like Sky. Soonest looks like he hates Sky also, but the contract is too good. Said nay. When's the stream on to today? About 11:15, Mark, mate. About 11:15. Paul Turner said, I can't stand Martin Tyler. He had to bring up the Salah Mane incident during the London Derby for no reason. I'm with you. Don't like him one bit. Don't like him one bit. He is dull. He is fucking dreary. His punditry, his commentary is shite. Yeah, I agree. And it's not because of this whole I think he loves Manchester United side of it. I just don't think he's very good. Josie16 said, love Mo. Forward, he's hungry. Sometimes you have to pass. I agree. Love Mo as well. But yeah, did have to pass. John Bale said, what do you think of the boxing, mate? I lost my bet. Campbell had to be knocked out. Really quickly, because people aren't here to listen to me talk about boxing again. Lomachenko is a generational fighter, mate. He is fucking sensational. I believe his father made him take ballet when he was younger. His footwork is exceptional. He breaks people mentally. His little feints with his feet, his little moves of his shoulder, little head movements. He just breaks fighters down. Luke Campbell is an exceptionally good fighter. A very, very, very high level fighter. And he will win a world title when Lomachenko goes back down to 130. It was a good fight. It was an interesting fight. I thought Charlie Edwards was very fucking lucky. I mean, your man was disqualified rightly. He hit him when he was on his knee. Shouldn't have happened. But if that hadn't have happened, he would have lost that fight. So he can count himself very lucky. Looks like he'll probably move up in weight because he said he struggled to get there. But Lomachenko, just enjoy him while he's here. That's what I'll say, because Vasily Lomachenko is a once-in-a-generation fighter. He is sensational. He'll clean up that division. He'll go back down. He'll clean up that division again. Yeah, just enjoy him when he's here because he is sensational. Stephanie Riley, we all love LFC, mate. It's great to see you win. And Craig Adams said, Mank's best signing for 15 years is a youngster. Enough said. Right, I said I had something to talk about with regards to the midfield. And I want to get your opinion on this. So, I think it's fair to say that we're at a point that when everybody's fit, in my mind, there's probably 10 positions in the first 11 that are already nailed down. So for me, there's only really the third midfield spot after Fabinho and Jordan Henderson that's up for grabs at the minute. Now, that's just me. So for me, when everybody's fit, Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip at the minute, because you cannot take the jersey off that man because he's been exceptional. Robbo, Fabinho, Henderson. Then there's that blank third midfield spot for me that's up for grabs. And then, of course, you have Mane, Salah and Bobby Firmino. I want to get everybody's thoughts on this because that's the only spot. If everyone's fit, that's the only spot I can think of that's there to be grabbed. Whether it's grabbed by Naby Keita, whether it's grabbed by Gini Wijnaldum, whether it's grabbed by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think that's up for debate. But for me, that's the only spot. That's the only spot that I can see available for somebody to kind of grasp at the moment. But what do you guys think around that midfield? Do you agree that Henderson and Fabinho are on that team sheet for the big games when everybody's fit? Yes, there'll be rotation. Yes, Milner will get some time. Yes, Lallana will get some time. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, right now, if we're playing, I don't know, Manchester City tomorrow and it's at Anfield, I'm putting Fabinho and Henderson in there and then there's one more spot beside them up for grabs, and every other position in that team for me is nailed on. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you disagree? Should Chelsea have their ban overturned? Excuse me, I need to take a drink, one sec. I don't know. It's the honest answer, mate. It's not for me to say. It could be a good thing for Chelsea that they're forced to play Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount and younger players and give them an opportunity. It could actually work in their favour. Now, also with Chelsea, Roman Abramovich has thrown his toys out of the pram a little bit with regards to the stadium and other stuff because of obviously issues around his visa. I'm not a Chelsea fan. It's not really fair for me to say, nor do I know enough about the ins and outs of their ban compared to, say, Manchester City's fine for signing or the issues around signing underage players. I don't know enough about it to give you an honest opinion. Brian Morris, he said, that show, the debate is fucking pathetic. It is. The really annoying part, Brian, is there's something there. The idea, the premise of the show is good, but the actual execution of the show isn't great. Tyler is a man glove and go. Said, who was that? Oh, you guys make me smile sometimes. I love it. I can't remember. I can't find who it was. It was North something. Where is it gone? Yeah, I've lost it, but good shout, mate. Made me smile. LFC 8092 said Lomachenko used to do MMA as well. He is, he's exceptional, isn't he? Just realised now Salah and Son are quite similar in front of goals. Shoot on sight mentality. I love Son. I think he's an excellent footballer. I really have to say. Lacazette today I thought was exceptional as well. I know he went off with a knock, but yeah, he put in a shift. I thought he was very good for Arsenal today. Loma is a badass, said Pepper Red. Red Chronic said Mourinho was the only one out of those four on Sky that knew what he was saying. He's a very good pundit, Jose Mourinho. I have to say, I've begrudgingly enjoyed seeing a more relaxed Jose Mourinho. And I've also enjoyed seeing Arsene Wenger do little bits as well. They're bringing up Salah Mane issue because it gives them views. It's not rocket science, said Tonic. Yeah, and it only gives them views, mate, because Liverpool fan base is so active and so big on social media and so interactive. But it's still shit. They're still shit. I'm not sure who you're talking about here with regards to they. I'm thinking you're talking about Gray and Keys, Tonic, but I could be wrong. Tom Jones said, I want somebody like Ray Hudson to commentate in the Premier League. King of analogies. Chamberlain or Keita said Bassett with regards to their other midfield spot. LFC 8092 said Milner. Mate, honestly, I know it's your opinion, but if we started that game with Milner, Henderson and Fabinho, people's fucking heads would explode, saying that there's no creativity. There's no one in that midfield that can open up gaps or play a little ball around the back. And I love Jimmy Milner, but if Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are fit for me, and Genie, they're all ahead of James Milner in that third spot. But that's just my opinion. Lux said most of the time it's going to be Genie. I wonder when Keita comes fit though. That's my big wonder there, or my big thought there is, when Naby Keita is fit, will it still be Genie? Now Genie is exceptional, don't get me wrong. The guy constantly goes up levels and I love him. And he's great to have there and I've no issues. Whenever I see him on the team sheet, I've no worries about it at all. Stephen Booker reckons Keita if he can stay fit. Oxlade-Chamberlain's not 100% yet, said Andrew McGregor, which he isn't, mate, you're right. I mean, he was out for quite a long time and he's working his way back. Again, Tropic Sunshine, I'm not answering that fucking question, pal, about who's most likely to get sold. Why would I? Why do we have to go on negatives? Why do we talk about who's most likely to get signed? Something positive. Why do our fan base look to always go with a negative? It depends on the opposition, said Hayne. It does, but I have given you an example, mate. I did say if we're playing against Manchester City at home tomorrow. But you're right, it does. Horses for courses. It absolutely depends on who we're playing. Sometimes we might need to hold the midfielder. Sometimes we can go a bit more attack-minded. John Kelly said Genie is underappreciated. To an extent, perhaps. But I think we love him. I think most, if not all Reds really love the guy. Genie for the better sides, Oxlade-Chamberlain against the weaker side, so Peter van der Schaans. Your top three right backs right now. Why? We're talking about Liverpool, mate, at the minute. Let's not talk about top three right backs. This is not really something in fitting with what we're talking about right now. But if the chat want to answer in the chat, by all means, go ahead. Genie or Keita, I think Oxlade-Chamberlain has negatively impacted us every time he comes on this season. No, he hasn't, mate. He had one bad game against Chelsea in the Super Cup because he was played on the left side of a front three. Other than that, I don't think he actually, to be fair to your comment, I don't think he did anything when he came on yesterday. But I thought when he played after the Super Cup, when he played in the midfield trio, when he played in behind the front three, I thought he was much more effective and you could see what you get from a lot more. But I get where you're coming from. He's still working his way back though, as people have said. Dexter said, I think it's Winnie, not Hendo. You mean Genie? Well, look, there's no way he's not going to start as fucking captain, mate. There's no way he's not going to start Hendo in the big games. Jordan Henderson has been exceptional lately. I think everybody should surely agree with that one. The work rate he's getting through, the leadership that he's showing on the pitch, the pressing, the disrupting, the eye for a pass. I mean, there's so much good stuff that's coming out of Hendo that you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Hayne said Genie, he allows Hendo to do more offensive stuff. That's a good shout as well. Again, Genie's so versatile in where he can play. He can play in any of those midfield positions, as can Henderson, of course. Kim said Hendo and Fabinho should always play when fit. John Kelly said Genie's always shown for the ball. Yes, he is. It's a very good point. He doesn't shy away ever. Even if he's not having his greatest game, Genie always makes himself available. It is a really good point. Chamberlain should never play on the wing. I agree with that. I do. I think he's better playing directly through the centre and running at defences because he's got power when he runs and he's not afraid to let a shot off either, and I like that part of his game. Scott Wilson said, how many people would leave Liverpool tomorrow? Any news on Kent? I haven't seen anything about Ryan Kent, Scott, and I didn't hear Steven Gerrard saying anything actually after the derby earlier on. Now, I might have missed it. I just seen little sound bites of Gerrard's interview, but yeah, no, I haven't seen anything. I wonder, Scott, if he will move on. Maybe somebody else in the chat has seen something, buddy, that I've just missed out on. Crosby Red said Fabinho's the only nailed on midfielder, so 2 spots available each match. Mark Meehan said Craig Shaqiri pulled out of the game against Ireland to focus on Liverpool, which is a win-win. It is, yeah, it definitely is. It's good to see Shaqiri wants to buckle down and prove a point. I like that. If you're a Swiss fan of the national team, you're probably a little bit pissed off with him. Asmo said, I like Salah, but he's too selfish. Mane lost it, but Firmino not happy either. Klopp needs to fix the locker room. He will, mate, without a doubt. The only part of that I didn't like was the Mane doing it in public part. I get his point. I absolutely get his point. But it should have been done behind closed doors. Stephen Richards said, Craig, in Henderson we trust. You know I love Hendo, mate. Massive Hendo fan. Rival fans trying to create chaos between Salah and Mane, said Survivor 202. We know why that is as well, buddy, don't we? Because the motherfuckers are shitting themselves. That's why. They're afraid. And fear. They're disguising fear by saying we're unbearable, that there's issues. They're trying to create shit in their own head to make themselves feel better because they're worried about us. They're worried about Liverpool because they know we're the real deal now. So from our point of view, we should sit back and relax and enjoy this. What have we got? Sorry, sometimes I'm trying to read through comments and you're chatting with each other, which is great, and I'm just about to read out a comment and then I realise it's not meant for me. Mark Meehan said, thoughts on if Keita would become the player we thought he would? It's down for me, mate, about injuries, and that's all that'll stop him. If he can go through a period where he doesn't get injured, then I think Naby Keita will show his worth. That's my opinion anyway. Again, I'd love to see or hear what people in the chat have to say. Right, guys, where are we? 483 people watching, which is really good for a Sunday night. Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the stream, we're only 22 subscribers away from getting to 22,300. We always like to work in 100 targets. So if you are enjoying the stream, if you can do two things for me really quickly. One, subscribe if you haven't done so. And secondly, you guys know what I'm going to say, don't you? Hit that thumbs up button as well. Leave a like on the stream. Yeah, thank you very much. Rangers had 60% of the possession and didn't even create one clear-cut chance. I actually watched the derby earlier on, and I thought Celtic were good value for the win, if I'm being honest about it. Yeah, I thought they were good value for the win. It's also good for Ireland, hopefully, said Fran, with regards to Shaqiri not being there. Yes, it probably is quite good for Ireland. Curtis Dalton, how are you, buddy? Said, hi Craig, how are you tonight? Come on, Urez, please remind me who's the most successful team in England. You know we are, buddy. Craig, seen a few weeks. I'm going to Anfield for the first time for a tour, and I'm a Liverpool fan. I cannot wait. You will love it, mate. You will absolutely love it. I haven't done the stadium tour since the new main stand was done, and I will. It's just usually when I go over, it's a game day and I'm in a rush. But yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it, mate. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. You will have a great time, and you'll love the city as well. How awesome was Fabinho, said Craig Weston. Nothing but love for him, buddy. Nothing but love. He was absolute class. Jack Page said, am I right in saying that Salah doesn't go on international duty often? He only goes for World Cup qualifiers and tournaments. I can't off the top of my head remember what the qualification process and stuff is for the AFCON, mate, so probably not best for me to answer. Drew said, I live this slightly new development of Hendo occupying the left flanks. He's enabled Trent to mix it up and hit from deep as well as overlap. It's more the right hand side he covers, if my memory serves me correct. But yeah, you're right what you're saying. He can mix it up. He can hit beautiful passes from deep. He can whip in those lovely wide balls as well that you see from Trent at times. Okay. I love how Henderson and Milner calmed down Mane. Our team is very united. Sorry, I'm just checking on something here. I've seen something in the chat and I'm just trying to check on something. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I wanted to check on something before I read a comment out. I think Gerrard needs to leave Scotland. Won't gain much experience in what you describe, Jason Ward, as a Mickey Mouse league. I think for him to ever get to manage Liverpool, yes, he will need to leave Scotland and go up another level. Did I watch the All-Ireland? I did. I was hoping somebody brought it up so I wouldn't have to do it. I did watch the All-Ireland, mate. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, today was All-Ireland football final day. It was between Dublin and Kerry. The biggest day, obviously, in Gaelic football in the year. And I thought the referee had an impact on the game in a negative way. The draw, I think Dublin will win the replay, and I think they'll win it fairly handily. I thought the second yellow for Dublin to give the red card, I thought was harsh. I thought that if anything, it was probably a free out. So to then go and give a yellow. Now I know he was grappling him, but your man stood across him to block his way in the first place. So I just felt the referee was giving Kerry a little bit too much. And there was some decisions I wasn't really with, but I was glad to see Dublin get out of it, mate, in the end with the replay. Now I know we had a chance right at the end. Free kick right out on the sideline that just, didn't go over, but I think Dublin will win the replay. But it was a good day. It was a good game of football. Brendan Farrell said, Craig, when Klopp first came to LFC, we had loads of players injured with a new intense training and they look a lot stronger now. I think Keita may be gone through that now. That's a very good point. A very good shout, Bernadette. I remember there was a Dutch guy who said that Klopp was pushing him too hard and that the players were going to break down throughout the season, but what we have seen actually is what you've said there. Our players are just a different level of fitness now. It is brilliant. Tom 50X said, Craig, how many points do you think we'll finish up on this season? 92, maybe 93. I think that will win the league, by the way. However, I don't think we're going to see 97, 98 points again. I think 92, 93 points for me, but it's just a guess. We should sign Richarlison. Do you remember there was some talk about that no skill last season at some point? There was talk that Klopp had dinner with his agent or something like that. I've just been falsely banned on my main account. You were banned. Wherever you were banned, I fully back the moderators, mate. I trust Brian, I trust John, and all the other moderators, mate. So Brian's the man to have a chat with. If Brian thinks you've been falsely banned, he'll sort it out. If Brian thinks you were banned for a reason, Alexis, then I will fully stand behind Brian. I don't know why you were banned, but he's just removed your comment there again, so I guess Brian knows. And as I said, I fully trust Brian. Will Brewster play for Liverpool apart from the cup games? I would say so, but again, it'll be about introducing them at the right time, mate. Yeah, at the right time, and there's no better boyo than Jurgen Klopp to pick those times. Kyle wants a recap. Not really too much to recap, mate. We spoke about the Mo Salah situation. We asked, was he a little bit too greedy? Most people thought he has been at times. We talked around the midfield, and I asked, is it fair to say that there's 2 of the 3 spots nailed down, really, between Firmino and Henderson? Other than that, we haven't really done too much. You just chit-chat, really. Stephen Richards reckons 95 points. Dublin are very fit. They'll win the replay, but I believe in Kerry, said it's Fran. Lux reckons 98 points. We'll finish with 101 points, said Kim. I'd love that. I really would. Craig, imagine we won the Champions League and the league in the same season. Don't, mate. I'm going to have to get a box of tissues if we start thinking about that. Oh, if they think we're unbearable now, mate, can you imagine? Do you live near the Amber Strings? I'm living in Dublin, but I went down there for a week last month. Yes, I do, mate. I live about less than half a mile away from the Amber Springs. The dugout said City will find out the extent of Laporte's injury tomorrow. Rumours it's an ACL. Now look, I know Laporte being injured will have a positive impact on us, but I never ever will wish an injury on a player. So I genuinely hope that he comes back, those results come out tomorrow and it isn't as serious as is feared. I can't bring myself to want the player to be injured. As a human, as a former player, I'm sure most of you guys have played the game as well. I can't bring myself to want the player to be injured. So genuinely wish Laporte the best. What else have we got? Curtis said our rivals don't see us being that good, Craig. We've been consistently good and it worries them. And it's going to keep worrying them, mate. And long may it continue. Doug said, thank you for the super chat. Said Laporte has reportedly done his ACL. That's a blow for City. I think I missed that super chat originally, Doug, but I can see it there below. So apologies for missing that one earlier on. Boya, great to see you in the chat, by the way. You must be so fucking happy, mate, the way things are going for you guys in the Champions League positions. Yeah, well done. Yeah, I'm not begrudging Leicester or anything. I actually have a soft spot for Leicester. We win in the league this season, said Connor. I hope so. Connor. Whatever happened to Jerome Sinclair? He went to Watford, and after that, I just don't know. I don't know what happened to him. What happened to Laporte's knee? He actually fouled somebody, got booked, but in that foul there was a banging of his knee against the other player's leg, and it looked like he's after doing himself a serious injury. What's this? Craig, mate, do you have the same passion for Ireland national team as Liverpool? No, not at all. Not at all. Now, I won't say I won't watch the games, because I might do. And actually, I might be going to the games, but no, I don't have the same buy-in to it at all. Yeah, weird. I probably fucking care more about the Irish rugby team, to be fair. I don't know if it's just because of some of the style of football we've had to watch, if it's because I was never taking the games really as a kid or anything like that. Yeah, I've never really been massive. I mean, Italia 90 was unbelievable. I've said that time and time again. I'll never forget that, but yeah, no, I'm not overly gone. Darren Calvin said, like the stream, Red, show your support for the channel. Thank you very much. We're only 20 subscribers away from 22,300, so again, please do hit that button, ladies and gents. Anybody, I want to actually ask a really quick question, and I won't dwell about it because I don't want to ram stuff down people's throats, but has anybody won a few quid on Football Index? Has anybody's portfolios gone up a few quid? I know Connor's has. I know mine has. I think Craig Adams is doing okay as well. And I got to say at this point as well, we are working with Football Index this season. There is a sign up link in the description below. That link, if you sign up on deposit, will help the channel financially, which allows us to continue to go on and make all this stuff free. I don't hide away from that fact. We are doing that to make money. I've been open about that from the start. You can also use the code AA on sign up as well if you use Football Index, and that will get you a 10% bonus on your player share purchases in the first month. And Football Index will also cover any losses in your first month up to £1,000. Just email them and they'll sort that out for you if you have any losses. It is a gaming product. It is a gambling product. It is for 18s plus only, UK and Irish residents. And when the fun stops, stop. If you have any issues with gambling, begambleaware.org is there. But then back to the fun stuff. I'm actually making a nice fucking few quid on it and I'm really happy. I've also been doing some normal betting as well because I like an out bet. But yeah, Footy Index is... it's almost getting to the point where I'm using it as a way of getting a better return than depositing a few quid in the bank. And it is gambling. So I'm not saying this like it's idiot proof. But yeah, I like it. Yeah. And I want to know how you're getting on if you've used it. I know I'd ask a lot of people. Peter Van der Chancellor gave up on it. I'm useless. I'm like that with Fantasy Premier League, mate. I'm fucking shocking at FPL. And I really try. I really, really try with FPL every season. And then I just realise how crap I am. Jerome Sinclair plays in the Holland with Lee Cadamel now, Craig. How times have changed. Yeah, they really have. Bassett said he's happy Bolton has been saved. I actually seen a bit today about Bury where the Mayor of Manchester has come out and said that he'd like to see Bury reintroduced to the Football League but in League 2, and he thinks that Andy Burnham thinks that might be a fair punishment for the club rather than being expelled from the Football League altogether. So just relegate them, make them miss this season entirely and relegate them and then put them back in League 2 next year. And you know, I kind of like that idea. And I kind of get where he's coming from. And if there's a buyer there that's willing to, you know, come in and make Bury liquid again and make them a feasible business, then I think that's a good idea. And I think it's something that should be explored. I don't like seeing any football club like that go out of business. And I'm as well happy like you, mate, that Bolton's been saved. Might take you up on the Football Index offer. Need to see how it works exactly though. Right, well basically a really quick rundown of it is you buy shares in footballers. It's a football stock market basically. So it gives you can track how players have done previously. You can track how they're getting on now. You can see a list of the top 100 ranked players. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get on there and have a look. But of course, if you do have any questions, I'm there. The customer support is there. Let us know. I want people to enjoy this. And that's why I keep asking how people are getting on if they've used it. On Football Index, can I sign in on my other devices? Yes, absolutely, mate. There's an app. Get the Football Index app. I have it on my phone. Yeah, it's really handy. Just put the app on all your devices, sign in, and what happens is that when you go to re-sign in all the time, you put your PIN number in. You get a PIN number like instead of a password, and you put that in. It opens up the app, and bing bang bosh, job's a good one. Craig Adams said nobody likes Liverpool players on Football Index. VVD Robbo down a bit. I'm somebody that goes more for the younger players, so like Ryan Brewster, Mason Mount, I've said before. Kai Havertz, which you put me on to, Craig Adams. I've bought some shares in Kai Havertz. Connor's gone a bit more mainstream. He's done the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson. He's tried to play it safe with his investments. Boy, I said honestly just awful at it. Is that Football Index, mate? Because I know you signed up to Football Index, Anthony. Or is that FPL? Because I'm shit at FPL. Mark Meehan said, I have more passion for Liverpool, but I do enjoy going to an Ireland match with my dad's friends and my Irish songs. Yeah, I mean, there is no better fans, mate. That's what I will say. Irish fans, Liverpool fans, I'll put them all in the same boat when it comes to the support. Absolute quality. Mark said, I started it with my dad, but need some help. I would say, mate, play safe and look at the history of players. And if you're just looking to not lose money, then... you know, go for the all reliables. Go for the people like the Neymars. Again, I don't want to tell anybody where to invest their money. That's your own decisions. But just use the statistics that are on there, mate, and that will help you out, help you make those decisions. And keep an eye on what players are going up and what players are going down, and all the obvious stuff, really. David James, quite good. Should sign him as backup to Mane. I think you mean Daniel James. And there's no way we're signing him for Manchester United. Not a fucking chance. Craig, have you ever predicted a result and it actually happened? Quite a lot. Actually, mate, I mean, you guys asked me yesterday what score I thought the London Derby was going to be, and I said 2-2. I've got a fair few Liverpool results right in recent times. I got this week's wrong. I said 2-0 and it was 3-0. But yeah, quite a few times. I never put money on it because I never bet on actual scores of football games. You're the absolute best YouTuber ever. Thank you, Morad. That is so kind of you, mate. I really appreciate your kind words. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to sound the klaxon. There's 15 minutes to go in tonight's stream. So if there's anything else you want to have a chat about, please put it in there. According to research, Liverpool have seen a 76% season-to-season uptake in online searches for the home shirt in the UK alone. Those figures make Liverpool the most searched Premier League kit in the UK and 3 times more popular than Manchester United. That comes in via the Evening Standard. That's where I read that article from. So 76% uptake in the search for Liverpool's home kit. That goes to show you that the success that we've had, winning the European Cup, having Jurgen Klopp here, having Salah, Mane, Firmino, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, Becker, having those superstar players in, who we've made into superstars as well. The club is going in the right place, and Liverpool are the most searched Premier League kit in the UK. 3 times more searches of people looking to buy Liverpool kits than Manchester United kits in the UK. 3 times more. That is a lot. Shows you our club is going in the right direction. It's not that much of a relevant thing. It's just something I wanted to bring up because I read it and we both know. And somebody made a really good point on social media, and I want to bring this up because we know Liverpool had looked to copyright the word Liverpool in a football context. And they said that the reason they were doing this was to stop large-scale manufacturing of fake jerseys. Now, nobody wants to see the club absolutely fucked over. But somebody made a really good point in social media. Somebody said, hey Craig, any idea when the club are going to be restocking the goalkeeper shirt? Because I've been trying to buy it since the day it came out. And if they want us to not go and buy fake shirts, then they have to have the fucking shirts available to buy. And I didn't think about that before. And I sat back and I thought, that's a really good point. If the I can go out now, click on my phone and buy 50 of those fake goalkeeper shirts. Just buy, there's loads of sites you could buy them from. But people want to go to the club store and buy them, and they're not available. And that does need to be looked at. There's been too many times over the past couple of seasons where I've gone on to buy stuff and it's out of stock. And it shouldn't be. It should not be out of stock no matter how popular we are. They should see this growth and they should manufacture enough shirts. So, as an example, I was chatting to one of the guys from Tallahassee, and I was saying to him, I'm after getting the all black kit and I'm really excited about it. And he said, I got this training top, and he showed me a picture of, it was actually the one Jurgen Klopp wore in his press conference on Friday. It was a black AXA training gear top with white writing on it. And I said, that's really nice actually. I'm going to fucking go and have a look for that. So I went on the Liverpool site and it's not there. It's sold out in adult sizes. And then the goalkeeper shirt, the long and short sleeve, sold out in adult sizes. The black shirt, sold out. Now granted, the black one was a limited edition shirt. I get that. But too many times lately, ladies and gents, too many times the football club have been sold out of products and then don't want people, of course, to go and buy what I call moody gear, fake gear. So what are your thoughts on that? Have you guys had this experience as well? Have you struggled to get stuff from the club store occasionally? But Dugout said this is a joke. That's just all of us searching repeatedly to find cheaper versions, said John Hamilton. Craig, might see you at the Ireland game. Looking forward to it. Yeah, if I'm going, Mark, I'll let you know. I'll probably find out tomorrow or the next day. Oli Demand said, you're the best YouTuber because you interact with fans. Also, you followed me on Instagram yesterday. I'd love to take the credit for that follow, buddy, but I don't run the Instagram account. Connor runs the Instagram account. But it's all the one, isn't it? We're all the one group. Yeah, thank you. And I love interacting with people. I mean, I couldn't do what other people do. I've said that before. I always use Mark as an example, Mark Ulrich, because I know Mark. And Mark is somebody who's very, very good and very proficient at being able to sit in front of the camera and speak for 10, 15, 20 minutes about his opinions and his views on football. I'm not quite that eloquent or quite that articulate, so I like to just interact with people and kind of let you guys do all the work to an extent. And it's more fun for me personally as well. I love interacting with people, so to be able to come on and chat to you guys is a blessing. But thank you so much for the kind words. John Hamilton said, and at a reasonable fucking price. Yeah, I mean, that's my worry about if Nike make our kits, mate, that the price are going to go up again. Actually, that blackout shirt that I spoke about, that's supposed to be getting delivered to me tomorrow. So if it does, I'll probably wear it on tomorrow night's stream. So fingers crossed I actually get it, because I'm quite excited about it, if I'm being honest. 4 shirts at 60 quid, no more for fuck's sake, said John Hamilton. How much is it to buy a share on a player? Every player's value is different, mate. Some players you can buy for like less than £1. Other players you will pay £5, £6, £7, £8 for. You know, for the bigger players, even more at times. It just depends on what player. The shares vary, which is why it's also fun, because there's something there for everybody. If you want to go and lodge £10, you can buy quite a few shares, actually. If you want to do what Connor did, Connor lodged £50, well, €50, actually 70 because he lodged another 20. And he has a bigger portfolio of players. So that's why I keep saying there's something in Football Index for everybody. Large scale investments, small scale investments. Yeah, you can just have a bit of fun with it. The club store says the goalie kit will be back in September or October. Yeah. And when did that go on sale? And when did that sell out? July, maybe? So we've had all of July, all of August, all of September possibly before it's back in stock, which isn't good enough. Bernadette Farrell said, New Balance have done a cracking job taking a sport shirt to a fashionable everyday item. 100%. I've nothing but love for New Balance and the shirts that they've made. But we do need to have a better supply of jerseys available for people that want to buy them. Papandu said, in 1987 I bought the full Crown Paints Adidas kit for £35. I think what now to buy the full kit as an adult in euro, maybe 115, 120 euro, something like that. Manchester Derby prediction. We've loads of time, mate, to get through that one. City win though, to be honest. That's going to be my answer. I've had the same stuff, just don't think it's a Liverpool problem, so buy it. With regards to not being able to get stuff, mate, it's frustrating, isn't it? It's frustrating as a fan. You want to give the club your money and the shit just isn't available. So for instance, they lost £35 for me because I would have bought that training jersey the other day when I went on. Can you believe before last year Ronaldo had the same amount of Champions League trophies as 127-year-old Liverpool? Whoop de fucking do for Ronaldo. Yay, Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know what the point of that is. I mean, well done to fucking Ronaldo. Plus the community is good crack, said Darren. Yeah, it is. It's great fun on here. My nan likes red and brown sauce together. Oh no. Oh God, no. That's just wrong on so many levels, Shankly Spirit. I love red sauce and I love brown sauce, but together? Oof. No. God, no. Papandu said that goalkeeper's kit is a beauty. It is damn nice, mate. It is damn nice. I have one actually that doesn't fit me that was sent to me. And I'm going to bring it over to the guy that runs the Tallahassee Supporters Club and give it to him, because as I said, he's been struggling to get it for a while. So myself and Connor were both sent the goalkeeper's kit. Not by the club, but we were sent it. So, or the goalkeeper's shirt. Mine's a bit too small for my fat ass, so I'm going to bring it over to the guy in the Liverpool Supporters Club in Tallahassee and give it to him. Have you seen the red and gold tracksuit top? I've got that. Opinions. I've seen all the stuff. I don't know which one you're talking about, Mark, but a lot of the gear is lovely. I mean, a lot of the training gear as well this year is really, really nice. How much to buy a share in Anfield Agenda, said Stephen Richards. 24 cans of Diet Coke, mate, and a 12 box of Kyo's, and a share is yours, my friend. No Liverpool match for nearly 2 weeks. I know, man, I fucking hate this. 2 weeks. And the really annoying thing for me is, and maybe for you guys, so when Liverpool come back, we're playing Newcastle on the 14th. I'll be in Florida with Connor. Anfield Agenda will be over in Florida, so we won't be doing a watch-along of that game, and we won't be doing a watch-along of the Napoli game, so you're not going to get me doing a match for 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. I'll be here doing streams and you'll get content while we're in Florida, but because of this 2 week gap, yeah, you'll probably get me having a few more nights off as well over the international break. I will be here tomorrow. I think Tuesday, as you know, I see my psychologist every Tuesday, so I won't be here on Tuesday. So yeah, you'll have a stream coming up tomorrow night for definite, and after that, look, we'll play it by ear and see what happens. I want Adidas for the retro kits. I've said that before. Basket as well, mate. I absolutely agree. Can you imagine being able to get those lovely 89, 90 candy shirts? Adidas should have done a deal. Hate Nike for us, said George. I'm not a fan of Nike making Liverpool kits either. Nothing is formally signed off yet, but you know, if rumours are to be believed, it's looking like Nike will be making our kits from next season. Darren Neal said they made my favourite kit of all time, the 17-18 kit. That was a fucking belter of a kit, mate. It was. I have to say, I really, really love that. I love the 17-18 kit. I love the 13-14 Warrior kit, actually. And my favourite of all time was the 88-90 candy one? Everybody wants to look like Virgil the God in his shirt, said Bernadette Farrell. Well, I certainly don't look at like Van Dijk in a shirt. I wish. My nephew adds red and brown sauce to gravy. Oh no, God no, that's wrong. Craig, that goalie kit would suit me. Go with my eyebrows, said Stephen Richards. Yeah, it wouldn't fit though. If it doesn't fit me, Stephen, it ain't fitting you either, buddy. I've seen you. We're not too far apart, mate. Who's the best player in the Premier League? Well, Virgil van Dijk, mate, is the best player in Europe, therefore the best player in the Premier League. And that can't be disputed because the motherfucker just won the award. So, Virgil van Dijk. Big Man Steve said, I like the white AXA training kit. Yeah, training kit's nice. I like the stuff that actually has AXA like here on the chest. I don't like the stuff that has AXA like up here. Or just below. Like the hoodie I have, for instance, that has AXA just below the badge. Or just below the badge of the New Balance. I can't remember which. And I don't like there. But when it's in the centre, it looks quite nice. 2 fucking weeks. My mate's onboard engine is out of commission right now. That sucks, said John Hamilton. So no fishing for you then, John. Well, no boat fishing. Good luck tomorrow in school, Mark. Do I have the new Champions League Liverpool jersey? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the European shirt, which is the 3rd shirt, or are you talking about the new home shirt with the 6 badge on it? Because I have the home shirt, but I don't have the 6 badge on it because I'm an impatient fucker and I ordered the home shirt the day it was released. I also don't have the 3rd shirt this year. I got the 3rd training jersey instead of the 3rd shirt. Nike will probably own more factories and not run out of kits, said Hayne. There is that, yeah. Maybe they could, yeah, maybe we would be in that point, mate. That's a fair show. Like, I don't know how New Balance manufacture, how many outlets that they have, but when you're talking about Nike, you are talking about the big boys there, so it's a good show. Harry Kane's a diver, said Sebastian. You're not going to get any argument from me, mate. None whatsoever. Isn't it good that young players can look at VVD and want to be a defender like him? It is, Andre, mate. It really is good. Like, it's easy to fall in love with the goal scorers, the Ronaldos, the Messis. Very easy to, and understandable. But you're right, not everybody will be able to play as a forward. And it is good to see people falling in love with Van Dijk, like Maldini, like Cannavaro, like Hansen, like Carragher, like Daniel Agger. Yeah, it's great to see it. Red and brown on a bacon cheeseburger. You've got me with the bacon cheeseburger, mate. I'm on board there. You've got me with that, Clive. Red sauce, I'm still with you. But when you add the brown, mate, you've lost me. Although I can honestly say I've never tried it, Clive. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to risk my bacon cheeseburger on a double sauce. Don't know, mate. I might give it a bash just for you, though, Clive. I might do someday. City only have one fit centre-back for the Manchester Derby. I think I read somewhere that Fernandinho had said that he had practiced slotting into the centre-back role just in case. I think I read that somewhere. Did I do transition year in secondary school? No, I didn't, mate. I went straight from the junior cert into 5th year. My daughter, interestingly enough, is going into transition year this year. Big up Joe Pesci. I mean, I love Joe Pesci. So, yeah, big up Joe Pesci. Would I have Kappa instead of Nike? No. I mean, it would go like New Balance, Adidas, Nike in that order, and everything after that I don't care about, really, to be honest. They're all... Yeah, no. I kind of have a little bit of a like for Hummels. So, you see on the Ranger shirt, you've got the Hummel things down the arm. I mean, if you want to go retro and a bit kitsch, then Hummels is okay. Don't forget about Nesta. I mean, there's been a lot of good defenders over the years, Darren, you're right. I put chili sauce on everything, said Hayne. My wife is like that as well. She loves chili sauce. I'm a pussy. I can't eat anything spicy. What's this? Arnold said, this is not LFC, not Salah FC. Or this is LFC, not Salah FC. If Salah thinks differently, get him out. He doesn't think differently, mate. And let's stop with the get him out shite. Let's not overreact to this. He was selfish, Arnold. No doubt in that. But he doesn't think it's Salah FC. He doesn't think he's bigger than the club. And there's no need for us to go over the top on him. He needs to be pulled up on it, definitely. And he will be by the manager. Mark, you're doing it as well. Good. Handy work experience when you get your Junior results. Are they out next week? Because I don't know when they're out, Mark. We don't know as a family when the Junior results are out. We've Googled it, we've looked it up, and they say the end of September, what we're seeing, Mark. So, I don't know. I don't know when they're out, to be honest. Did I watch the Dublin match? I did, Niall. I watched it. We talked about it earlier on in the stream, mate. I think they'll win the replay. And I don't think they should have been down to 14 men. But it was a good, entertaining game. How long is an ACL injury? It varies, Jack. Some people, like Zlatan, for instance, came back quite soon from one. Other people, it can take a year, even longer. I would say 6 months is usually around the minimum for an ACL, but it does vary. Mayo plus tomato sauce mixed is great. Isn't that just like a Mary Rose sauce? If I'm right, mayo and ketchup mixed together. The Salah get out crowd should get out themselves. Exactly. Nothing wrong with saying he made a mistake. Nothing wrong with saying he was greedy. But there's no need to go over the top and try and sabotage our own club. The way I say Nike triggers you. Why? Because I don't say Nike. Oh, mate, I could do. If you Cavalier, what you'll learn from me a lot of the time, mate, is that I will say Adidas 1 minute and then I'll say Adidas the next minute. And I say Nike. I probably say Nike more, but I will say Nike occasionally. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from. And I don't even know what I say or what way I say it a lot of the time. So, I can understand why it might trigger somebody else. What have we got? You know what I've realised? Rival fans go on page and make comments as if they're Liverpool fans, and it starts from there. Sean Joseph, mate, that definitely happens without a shadow of a doubt. It's the same with this racist stuff that you're seeing now. A lot of this racist stuff is not. So, say for instance, the Paul Pogba situation. Pogba misses the penalty, got racially abused. Tammy Abraham missed the penalty, got racially abused. A lot of the times, these aren't people from their own clubs. They're people pretending to be from their own clubs. Now, that doesn't take away from the despicable comments. Any racist comments are fucking horrendous. And actually, somebody was charged for one with Mohamed Salah. I think you probably read about that. But yeah, there definitely happens, mate. People do pretend or disguise to be other clubs' fans. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night if that's okay. As always, if you've enjoyed the stream and you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button and give us a thumbs up on the stream as well. I've really enjoyed tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 9:30. Unfortunately, we're into the international break now, but you know, we'll get through it together, ladies and gents. And as always, thank you so much for your time. Love to all of your families and friends and each and every one of you out there, and thank you for the support of the channel. I'll chat to you wonderful people tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds.